Hello, welcome back. I did, as you can see, redrew the hands. It doesn't always look that good like this frame, but at least now there are hands, and that's better than nothing. But for today, I also hope that my mic quality is better this time, because last time I had it too far away from me and it didn't pick up my voice that well, but this should be fixed. And today we're gonna do the Inbetweens, and first we obviously have to figure out where they're going, and before I do that, I think I'm just gonna duplicate the animation folder once again to have another backup, and I think I'm gonna do here an in-between. Well, let's do this marker first, which I still don't know how to get rid of them if I want to change the position, but well, it's not that bad. So here one in between for the eye, and then here I think for this cut I don't need any more in-betweens. However, here, let's see, here probably one. Here when he tries to get up, and then for this I would say we need at least 2 in-betweens, because this is like a big movement. Does this sound right? And then I could try here with just one in-between in the middle, cause the movement will not look very fluent. I think try with just one here. So then this is on 4s, but I would say here we need 2, here and here. And for there, I'd say only here I need an in-between. Should I fix this drawing? Yeah, let me fix this real quick. And now we need to make the notes for the in-between. So, I didn't even, this is A1, we didn't even do that, did I? Alright, and now we can make the notes or the spacing sheet, So here I want this frame to be similar to A1, so to have nice ease in, but then still, the sudden eye open. But I think just for, this is too fast without in between, so 1, 2 should be good. And here as well I want this frame also be very close to the prior frame, so A4 in this case, to as well have a nice ease in, and we already have the ease out in the keyframes, so I don't need it there. Here I would say, wait, this is A6 and A7, and well, let me just, and I would say here as well an ease in, and then RM, I just thought, I would make it like this, ease in and ease out, but that wouldn't look good because the movement is still ongoing, so ease out wouldn't make much sense. So I'm gonna do one ease in, this one, and then one at the half position, but from this one then. This makes sense, so that the movement just is a bit more fluent. And I think here I just want, just one in between in the middle. So this is A7, and here we have A8, and then just one in between that is in the middle should be working, I hope. And here, since this is the end of the movement, I would say this is A9, yes, so I would say we definitely have an ease out, and with this one and with this one I would just also say this should be in the middle, and hopefully this then will look good. And for the last in between, again an ease in, so between A10 and A11 we have an ease in to make, you know, because here he's dropping on the ground, and we basically have with this keyframe already the ease out. So for the lift, he's lifting himself up first, so there an ease in should work. And I pulled this one frame closer, this keyframe. Let's see how this looks, because yeah, I think that looks better. It looks now more like an ease out. Yes, this works. And now I have to draw all of these in-betweens. Well, this one shouldn't be that hard, because what I'm gonna do is the same thing I did when I drew the keyframe. I copy this just to keep consistency, and I want this eye to be a bit open, you know, but let's redraw this. And the eyebrows, do I have a timing sheet for this one? Yeah, ease in, so the green is the next frame, the blue is the prior frame, so I stick close to blue, like this should work. A bit more to blue, like this should work. And now for the eyes, I already wanted to be a bit open. Well, yeah, like this is better. I don't often draw an eye in this state, shape, whatever, but let's see how it looks. Yeah, so it works. However, now I think this, no, it's fine. Well, it's fine, it's not that bad. Alright, now I just thought that maybe, that this looks now too slow, that he opens his eyes and takes a bit to sit up, that's not what I wanted, but it works. It does work, so we should move on. Yes, here now. So what I'm gonna do here actually is most of this should still, stay the same until here, because then, wait, let me try something. If I again copy this, paste it here, and then rotate like his body a bit, it's also supposed to be just a bit, just a little easing, a little ease in. So that's what I'm trying here. Let's see how this could look bad now. And it does actually, probably because it's not moving that much. Maybe it will look better if I make it move actually more. So like this, and also let's already give his legs here this small angle. Let's see how this looks. Hopefully better. Let's see the whole thing. It does look actually better now than it did before. Because I think this was just not enough movement and, for a proper ease. But there's one thing I'm gonna change, and that is this smear. I want more. No, this looks bad. But I do want more, because he's moving really fast. So maybe let's add these. I also see them from time to time, just like lines like this. Maybe this works, and on both sides actually. Something I always thought that the smear, is like, well, it's obviously like motion blur, so when you have a sword that's moving in this direction, the smear would go like this. But what I'm seeing often lately is that the smear, you know, it's on both sides. So here you have this and here. And yeah, I'm seeing that when I'm paying attention to the smears. That's something I did notice lately. Well, probably was already there earlier, but I didn't notice. However, the movement feels too slow. Maybe with I, it still feels too slow. Maybe when the smear is only on one. I think I get rid of the smears again. I mean, you could probably make this work, but I don't know. The smears feel out of place. You know, I do want some smears, but they just feel a bit out of place, don't they? Or maybe they're too big. Let's see this. Yeah, I think this looks better. Alright, this looks better. These are going to be too interesting in-betweens to draw for me. But let's just see. So this is very close to the other one. So to the blue, very close to the blue. And let me just try and get a good head. This is a bit too small actually, I think. So like this. And because I would say the head is now a bit rotated, but let's try something, because I hear often, but I never think about it when I'm animating. But let's try this, that, you know, humans move in curves or in arcs, you know. So like his head, and he's looking like this, and then you want him to look straight, so that he is not just, you know, like moving into this, but like a bit of an arc. Does this make sense? I don't know, but I'm gonna try this here and try to make it here. Try to split this up here just a bit, you know, so we can see he's rotating, and make this here just a bit wider. And well, we have to pay attention what the movement is. Well, I would say this arm moves too little. I want more movement. I know this is supposed to be an ease in, but I still want a bit more movement. Like this. Yeah, I think this will look better. I know that this is not finished, but we can still look how it looks in motion. Because I think now we drew the most important part. The rest is pretty much covered under this blanket. We could say that, you know, he raises his leg a little bit again, but I would actually leave this like it is and make here, wait, this second arm, we can make it a bit visible, but not like this. We rise it up just a bit. Here we actually want it to be not the same, but still close to blue. Alright, this should be... I almost forgot the nose. But what would it look like? Not like this. Also not like this. This looks bad. Oh, I'm not happy with his face. Maybe I should open his mouth just a bit, you know, because it's open in the frame prior. So like this, because this, well, yeah, it looks in motion. It could work, but I maybe have to. But also looks like it has his head that shrink a bit. I don't want that, but I think it actually should, because it's rotating. Alright, and then here, right, we have one middle frame. So again, I want this natural arc in his movement. Means maybe not, I shouldn't place his head like here, but you know, here. So he goes a bit down, you know. Does this make sense? Can you see the arc I'm talking about? Well, maybe it's not something you have to see. There's something that's, you know, when it's there, it's not really that obvious. especially if it's done well, because it looks neutral, but it's something we notice once it's missing. This is maybe one of these cases. Right, the head is actually pretty okay. I'm starting to feel unhappy with this motion, or with this in between, because I don't know what it is, but I just can't get it right. And like the body, I don't know, it looks weird. I think like up here it looks weird. I might have fixed it now, but I don't know, I think it still looks weird. Because what is this here? What am I doing there? This looks better. And for the head, and I don't know, let me just copy this, because this is one of the better hands I drew. So I'm sure we can use this. And I almost forgot his head, his face, but only almost. Where is he looking? In motion, maybe it works. Yeah, I think actually it does kinda work. Yeah, actually it's not that bad. Alright, nice. Then we can move on to the next frame, or to the next in between, which would be here. This might be a harder one than these two, but we'll see how it goes. So this in between is just in the middle between a 7 and 8, so this shouldn't be too difficult. And again, I'm trying to like get an arc in the movement, or in the motion. Should be more like down here. Alright, so I would say now his like, you know, still, I would say until like here, still under the blanket. Let me just, I don't want to get entirely rid of this, so let me just erase it a bit with the soft eraser, so I can still see it, because I think this can be very helpful. And now for the arms, I would say it's about here then, and he's holding the blanket. I'm gonna trace over this hand, because I actually think this hand is not that bad, you know. And well, there's no thumb in this hand actually, but that's on purpose, because it's supposed to be behind the blanket, you know. So, and then also here the leg motion before I add the face, because well, if the motion looks bad, then it doesn't bring me anything good, or it's not good to put a face on top of this. The movement looks bad, but I like it. It was actually, I expected worse, especially when I saw what this in between should look like, you know, or well, in between which frames it is. I expected worse, but that's a good thing, isn't it? Well, the hand doesn't look good, but alright, now this movement shouldn't be that difficult either, right? So this is an easing motion, so it's very close to a 9. So let's make this first, and then the one prior is in between, well, is spaced evenly in, you know, at the half point. Does it make sense? Between like a 8 and the in between, actually, if I remember. Yes, so this was, you know, that's why I made this marker, so I can remember that this is the middle between this and this in between, and not a8 and a9. Alright, and the face doesn't move that much, which is good. That means I can just, you know, so the head shape stays mostly the same, and I need to get this close to the green one. So let's draw this eye here, thinking about for the next project if I should animate in a higher resolution for details like this. But then again, this is a scale where I could also just, you know, not draw the face and it would still look fine, you know, like they did in Vinland Saga often or Fire Force. I think I already said it in the last video or in the first video of this. No, in the last video I think. But I couldn't find any pictures. But it's, well, in Vinland Saga, especially in season 2, I noticed this a few times. But it's not a bad thing, you know. I understand why they did this, because, you know, it might look better than try and draw a face but then have it look ugly because it's so small, you know. And well, fans can be very critical about this, you know, when they see not that beautiful drawing. Well, these feet are out of frame anyway, so I'm not gonna bother and trying to draw them better because I can't. I think with feet I have an even bigger problem than I have with hands. That's, well, something I should improve, or I should, you know, practice to improve, but I don't know, I just don't do it. Well, this blank is also very bad, but it's the best I can do now. Well, I mean, I maybe could try to improve it, but I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it like this. So, and then this in between is this evenly spaced. But I think it shouldn't just be like evenly spaced, so you know that the arm is now like this, because this movement looks unnatural. Instead, I'm gonna angle this a bit down and then here up, so we have maybe not that extreme, but you know, so we have a bit so it doesn't look that robotic, because I don't want it should look like a human motion still. That would be very helpful. Again, think about that curve, you know, not make it like this, but give it a curve. I almost forgot. And try, this doesn't look good. Actually, it doesn't look good. But this in between that's not good. Alright, let's see how it looks now. It looks okay, but I'm not 100% happy with it so far. And there's only one more in between. I mean, this in between could also be ignored because the movement looks also fine like this. I don't know, but it doesn't look bad. It could be worse, I would say, and especially for someone like me who is still a beginner, you know. I guess it looks okay. I'm actually thinking about just ignoring this in between, you know, making no in between there. Well, I should maybe do it and then see what looks better with in between or without, because it's just an easy motion. So, but wait, think in the head. Actually, this arc, you know, in the movement actually looks good. However, here in his legs, I would say the problem here is more the in-between, not the in-betweens, the keyframes. And I should probably think about like this arc movement and all that stuff when making the actual keyframes. You know, so that might be better, but I didn't do it. So next time I just have to make it better, you know. Well, I mean, in the next project when I do next key animation stuff, because this project is almost, well, I was about to say almost done, but actually it's not almost done, because there's still a lot of things I need to do, like cleanup. I want to go at least once over these drawings again and try to put the character more on model in the frames where he isn't that much on model, and you know, and then, well, the cleanup, obviously, the coloring, the compositing, and maybe some sound effects also, and only then I'm finished. So it's not almost finished, but we're making good progress. Alright, I think I finished the last in between. Let's see how it looks in motion. Yeah, it looks good. I think with this in between it also looks better than without. It depends on the style you're going for. Obviously, if you like the movement a bit choppier, which I actually do also like, then I would say this in between is not needed. However, you know, I can't just, well, I could, if I delete it here, it's not gone entirely, isn't it? No, I can technically get it back, still there, and I can just pull it back in, but I actually do, I think, well, let me see it again, because I think, yeah, I actually like it more without, like I thought in the beginning, you know. But I would say here is also one in between too much. This is too much, actually. Let me try something. If I delete this, now obviously the gap is too big, but let me again, let me undo this first. Then I duplicate this and let me try something out. If I get rid of this in between, and retime it, does it look better now? Not with this timing. Maybe if I give it one more frame. Let me see this again. This looks really glidey, the movement, you know. But I do still think, this looks better actually without this in between. It's a bit snappier, I would say, but I actually like it more because this in between just make it look very like glidey, slippy, whatever, you know. And I do like this actually more. Alright, then I would say we have it for today. And thank you all for watching. Next time, like I said, I'm gonna do the cleanup, but first I'm gonna like go over the drawings, especially like the face again, to make it look a bit more on model, but I'm gonna do both next time. So this these corrections and the cleanup, I'm gonna do both next time. So yeah, see you next time. Thank you all for watching, and bye.